If you're thinking about DIY soundproofing your own home, I'm going to share with you 3 things that massively helped me when I soundproofed my own home. It wasn't until I applied these 3 things did I get the soundproofing of a detached house. You see, we all have certain building beliefs. I had certain building beliefs when I soundproofed my home. I took my lounge back to brickwork 3 times over the course of 6 years before I got it right, before I got that soundproofing of a detached house. So the first concept I want to share with you is stop thinking about the whole of that separating party wall and start thinking about each room individually. Start thinking about soundproofing one room at a time. If you have a 3-bed semi-detached house and you have like a back bedroom, front bedroom, lounge and dining room, putting a solution to that party wall in every one of those rooms is not going to get you an amazing reduction in noise. Start off with that lounge downstairs. That will have different noise paths to that room above. Even though you're probably hearing your neighbour's noise in every room of your house, each room will have its own noise paths and have its different hollow voids and areas where the noise is getting into that room. So the first mindset change is stop thinking about that whole of that separating party wall and start thinking about each room individually. The second concept you need to consider is that every house has a main cause of the problem. We're not talking about your neighbour making noise here, we're talking about a noise path getting into that room. It means it doesn't matter what soundproofing you do, it doesn't matter how singing or dancing that wall system that you install, unless you address the main cause of the problem, the noise will still come through. And that could be a hollow floor void, it could be a hollow ceiling void, it could be a stud wall perpendicular, maybe an RSJ set on the separating party wall, some sort of hollow in the bay window ceiling, could even be a hollow stud wall in the room above. Unless you address that main cause of the problem, the noise will still come through. The third concept we need to consider is that noise is in the structure of the building. Even though you hear the noise loudest on the separating party wall, there is still noise coming down that flanking window wall, noise coming down that wall separating the lounge and dining room, and if you go upstairs there'll be noise coming down the separating wall between that front and back bedroom. Noise is in the structure of the building, it's in the ceiling and it's in the floor, and if the neighbours start pumping up low frequency bass noise, you will hear the noise on those flanking areas. But everybody's noise problem is different, so depending on how loud that neighbour noise is, depending on what areas you need to treat. But you just need to note that noise is in the structure of the building, it is in all of those areas. For me, it's not until I understood those 3 concepts was I able to completely soundproof my home to get that soundproofing of a detached house. I soundproofed my lounge 3 times over the course of 6 years. I did other rooms as well. But if you want to get there in 2 weeks rather than making all those mistakes I did, you might want to consider clicking the link in the bio and registering for the noise-free DIY soundproofing course. Click the link in the bio, take the quiz, and I'll send you a free copy of my book, The Noise-Free Home.